This recipe has no butter or flour or oil. It's also just the best chocolate cookie you've probably ever had, and it's a lot like a brownie too. So when I was researching recipes for Genius Desserts, I kept coming across this type of flourless chocolate cookie that was so beautiful. It has these like glossy, crackly tops and these really like fudgy, chewy centers. And it's very surprising because it doesn't have any of the normal stuff you would think you would see in cookies. No butter, no oil, no flour, no egg yolks. Like, to hold it all together, it has very few of those ingredients, and yet it makes a perfect cookie. So I started looking into this. I believe that anytime you see a flourless chocolate walnut cookie that looks like that, it can be traced back to one pastry chef, François Payard. We reached out to his patisserie and we're trying to find out more about the cookie. And we got an email back from François himself, and he just said, call me. And he told me this story. When he came to America, he set up his first patisserie in Manhattan in 1997. He didn't want to compete with American cookies like chocolate chip, and so he started thinking about the French macaron. When you start to compare the ingredient lists here of this cookie with the macaron, it all starts to make so much more sense. So in a funny way, when he was trying not to compete with American cookies, he ended up making something very quintessentially American, a brownie in cookie form. There's a lot of powdery stuff in here, so starting it on low is a good idea so you don't get the big poof. Okay, so that just needs to be combined. Once the egg whites go in, we'll kind of beat the heck out of it. So it's starting to get sticky like brownie batter. I forgot the vanilla. It's supposed to go in with the egg whites, but it's okay. I'll just add it now. A whole tablespoon. Okay. So this is it. It just gets scooped and baked now. So these make big cookies. It's a 1/4 cup measure, or you can use one of those cookie scoopers. You can make them smaller, but I like that they're so big because you get a lot of that chewy middle. But you do want to make sure you spread them out really well. These are going to go in the oven at 350 for about 14 to 16 minutes, and they will look glossy and crackly and delicious when they come out. So when I was testing these for Genius Desserts, I really wanted to really fine tune the instructions and make sure they came out perfectly every time. So we ended up testing them probably 5 or 6 times, and they would sometimes come out a little bit flatter, sometimes a little bit puffier. The batter would sometimes be runnier, sometimes it'd be thicker, and even when we were using the same grams of ingredients every single time, they were always good and they always had the qualities that we were looking for: the glossy tops with the crackles, the crispy outside, the chewy inside, the very chocolatey, fudgy, walnutty flavor. And so we realized there are some things you just can't control for. Eggs are gonna be different, the weather's gonna be different, your mood is gonna be different, your equipment's gonna be different. I have not tried doing it by hand with a whisk. If you do try it, let me know. I think you would just wanna chop the walnuts finer because they won't get quite as bashed up as they do in the stand mixer. We can just eat. So check that out. Doesn't that look like the best brownie you've ever seen? It's got that ripply, shiny top, and the inside is just pure fudge and studded with walnuts. I took the big half for myself. So it really is the perfect hybrid. It is kind of like a macaron on the outside, and then inside it's just pure fudgy American brownie. For more Genius recipes like this every single week, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Maybe pick up a copy of Genius Desserts, and I will be bringing you recipes every week that defy all logic but taste amazing, cookies and otherwise.